Y'all ready for this? It's the Gaming Galleon. I'm Cap and Raz, and we are hook deep in the Halloween season. And you know what that means? Here on the Galleon, it's a whole hootenanny full of Halloween games. Last week we did something a little more on the calm side. I usually don't like to talk about what we did last week or this week. I feel like I want all these voyages to be independent of one another. But, you know, I got a comment. Somebody was asking, trying to hear the game before the show, trying to figure out what it was, and they said a very wholesome game, haunting for the Genesis. We're not in those waters anymore, okay? We took it easy in the first week of Halloween. These next 3 weeks, we're going to be a little more over the top. Because when else do you get to do this kind of thing? You know, when else do you get to dress up like a pirate? Oh, wait. All right, let's talk about today's game. This is the Gaming Galleon. It's an hour-long show. We're going to be playing Splatterhouse for the arcade. But you're like, Cap and Raz, this is on PlayStation 3. Well, this is a really good game. Why? Because this is the reboot of Splatterhouse. See, Splatterhouse, I hope I don't confuse you by saying this, but Splatterhouse started up in the 90s, okay? Actually, the 80s. I think it was like 88. And they made 2 other games in the 16-bit era, and then they didn't hear anything about Splatterhouse until maybe a few years ago, when they rebooted the series, made it a 3D platformer, but best of all, put Splatterhouse 1, 2, and 3 on this disc. I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I wanted to talk about the first time I encountered Splatterhouse. Splatterhouse could not be a more basic game. And it's the kind of genre that I was really into at this time because it's basically a 2D brawler. So, what is that, you may ask? That's like Kung Fu for the Nintendo. Okay? You're just walking from left to right, and there's monsters coming at you, and you're just punching them out. Couldn't be more basic. I always liked that kind of game, and when I was in Aladdin's Castle back in the 80s, which was my local arcade, this was the height of the arcades. Okay, so there was everything. The place was like, 4 rooms back. It was probably one of the biggest stores. May as well have been a department store. And there was new stuff coming out every week. So there was no shortage of games to get into. And most of these games were really elaborate. This was, the height of the arcade era when, arcades were making money. So obviously, these machines were elaborate. They were well painted. The sides, the tops of the marquee had these big brightly colored logos. The joysticks themselves said things like run and jump. There were instructions. Everything you could possibly need. That's half the appeal of the arcade game, and what's lost in emulating these things. You don't see stuff like that like you do going to an arcade. And I was used to that by then. I'd spent my time in arcades. And I remember being there one day, and all the way in the back, usually the new games are in the front, for the front area. But for whatever reason, there was this one game that was in the back, about 2 rooms back, by the pinball machines. That gives you an idea of how far away from the front of the arcade they were. It was this big black cabinet. And it had no markings on it. It had 1 red joystick and 2 red buttons. No markings as to what the buttons did. No markings on the side of the machine. And the marquee, where it tells you what the game is, was not some elaborately put together logo. It was, I swear, at least this is how I remember it. I was a kid, but this is how I remember it. it was almost like they had written the name in, like, taken a supermarket paper bag, ripped enough room to write the name, and then put it in the light up marquee so that it would light up, and it said Splatterhouse written. And I was like, what is this? Now we're going to play it, and you're going to see how far removed this is. I want you to think about the kind of games that were out when this game came out. Because this was out before everything. This was out before Resident Evil. This was out before Mortal Kombat. This was out before ESRB ratings. This was out before Doom, for God's sakes. So I want you to think about the kind of games that were in the arcade as we play this. Kung Fu, you know, Excite Bike, you know, like Gradius and, you know, Super Mario Brothers, okay? Paperboy. That's the kind of games that were the norm when Splatterhouse came out. Another thing about Splatterhouse, it's very hard to get a hold of these days. It was on the TurboGrafx 16, a very, very hard game system to collect for. To get a copy of Splatterhouse for the TurboGrafx 16, you're looking somewhere between 60 and 80 bucks, you know, to get a nice copy with the jewel case. Okay? Splatterhouse 2, which came out only for the Sega Genesis, is even more expensive. That's going to run you somewhere around 100 bucks. That never even made it to the arcade. That was a Sega Genesis exclusive. As was Splatterhouse 3, which a lot of people consider to be the best one. I don't know about that. I think the one we're playing today is my favorite. But again, very hard to come by. For a complete copy is going to run you so easily. Well, I don't know about easily, but certainly would not surprise me if you'd have to pay over $100 just to get that. So I'm making that clear just so that you guys know what a nice deal Splatterhouse for the PlayStation 3 is. Because this is everything Splatterhouse ever was. The first Splatterhouse that we're going to play today is the arcade one, the one that I played as a kid. The second and third one are here. I suppose you're missing out on the TurboGrafx 16 port of the original game, but the arcade one's superior, so don't sweat that. Plus, on top of it, you're obviously getting an updated 3D adventure, and that's it. I haven't gotten into the story much. That's because there's not much story here. We're at the West Mansion. The West Mansion is along the East Coast. It's dark in the woods. It's abandoned, and basically, we're gonna try and get our way out. Try and find Rick's girlfriend and get out of there. Okay? I'll talk a little more about Rick. I'll talk a little bit more about the lore as we go, but I want to make something clear. This is not an easy game. This is not a cakewalk. Not only is it difficult, but there's really not a lot of content here. So I'm a little worried that we might go short. I tried to work on this game a lot more than most. Luckily, it's a game I really love, so that wasn't too much of a chore. But hopefully we have enough to fill a voyage here. Hopefully I don't botch it too much, and hopefully we can reach Jennifer and call this a successful voyage. Okay? Let's get started. Playing Splatterhouse, the one and only, for the arcade. Alright. Boom. Good luck. I want you to take a look at this. Right out of the box. Can you imagine 1988 sitting in an arcade next to, I don't know what, Star Trek Next Generation pinball? Listen to the sound effects. The sound of a guy getting decapitated. Look at this guy's eyeballs. He died in fright. These guys are vomiting. The last thing they do in the world is vomit. Look at that. The music's off the cuff, off the chain, and, you know, I didn't mention who made this. You're like, my god, who are the psychos who made this? This is made by Namco. You know, a little-known company that made, oh, I don't know, Pac-Man, Galaga. Can you imagine that they put this out in '88? This is a long cry from Dig Dug. You know what I'm saying? Look, I always thought this was terrifying, but just the gross, this cabinet here is so rotted. This lady's begging for help. Oh no. Oh, Raz. I can't believe I got killed by those guys. Did it. Oh boy. Alright. Stage 2. Are we doing it in time? Okay. Look at this. Why was this... And you notice there's that trap door. That's how we came through to... Everything's connected. That's where that guy was hanging in the last room. The attention to detail here. Now what happened here? Why are these guys even hung up? This is so gross. What happened in here? Got a wrench. I've fallen for you this time. I can't believe I let both those guys kill me. It's a Santa Claus effect, you know? You can know exactly what you want over and over and over once you're on Santa's lap. Next thing you know, you're asking for a football. Look at that. Look at, he's in a bag. Like that's how he ended up. I'm so big picture about this. I start thinking about how much, just living in that world. These guys are great. Listen to that sound. Boom. Her up. Alright, now check this boss out. If you want to see the term, the definition of boss challenged, it's right here. When's the last time you punched a knife? Gotta love video games. Oh no! Alright, we got him here. I remember seeing this room for the first time in the arcade and just being, I mean, scared, because it makes you think. I'd never seen anything like this in a video game. Oh my god, I gotta stop jumping. Yeah, get out of here. And that chandelier has got me before. So how about that? Talk about brilliant boss design. I always loved this perspective, opening the door and just seeing what lies beyond here. Now we're making our way to the West Mansion. No! I lost the whole shotgun. And I lose health for that? Oh my god. That's not good. It's not good because I know what lies at the end of this level. You're like, oh look, Ray has another shotgun, you're saved. No, not really. I was kind of needed both of them. Oh man, he pulled a Chun-Li! Christ. Alright, let's stop her there. We'll stop her there for now. Can I get it, Harp? Can I get a Harp, please? Alright. I don't know if I'm starting. I actually haven't even, to be fair, looked at the time. Are we early? Are we early? No, wow, we're right on time. How about that? Okay, cool. Yeah. Splatterhouse! So basic. But, you know, just the little touches, like that one wrench that you just pick up and throw at a guy. You know, just, and like the people in the background, they're like stuck on that, they get that thing up their gullet and then out their back, and they're like this creepy marionette. The level design for this is like nothing you've ever seen. Just so unnecessary. I love it. And it's very hard to find arcade machines like what we were talking about. In fact, it's funny, there's this one guy, Derek Alexander, a very good YouTuber, who did an excellent Splatterhouse retrospective. If you want to know more about Splatterhouse, you're going to learn a lot more from that guy than this old sea dog. Look up Derek Alexander Splatterhouse. But he talked about how when he was researching the arcade machine for Splatterhouse, everything that came up on the internet, any, promotional flyers, instructions on how to play the game, maybe labels for the machine, everything he came up with was in Japanese. And he was like, I'm not even sure this game made it to America. So it's really weird that I saw one in Aladdin's Castle, and it makes me wonder if any of you out there ever actually saw Splatterhouse in the arcade, or was this some sort of ghoulish apparition that ended up in my little corner of America. Let's get into the booty segment, shall we? A few deals here. One's kind of cool. I don't know if it's really that much of a deal, but you be the judge. One very good deal, and one just some good stuff. Okay? Let's start out with the kind of good stuff here. Alright, so these were all $1. There's 5, 6 things here. We got it for $1. Pretty nice stuff. Stuff on the floor. I believe this is at Mos Eisley, one of my favorite pawn shops. Yeah, pretty good stuff sitting on the floor. So you had X-Men Mutant Academy for the PlayStation. Very nice copy. Everything's here. There's no cracks in the case even. This was $1, and this is a fighting game. Believe it or not. Looks like it's in very nice shape. Well, this could be better. Looks like it's been played. It's far from pristine, but I don't think it's broken. It says featuring costumes from the movie, which, that's not a sell for me. I never liked those costumes. I grew up with the 90s Fox Kids cartoons. But, if you look here, looks like we got Wolverine fighting Cyclops. You got Gambit fighting Beast, maybe. Yep. And then maybe Storm fighting Mystique? Yeah. I don't know if this is 3D or 2D. Who made this? Paradox. I don't know how good this is. This reminds me of Masters of Terrakazi for the PS1. Very bad Star Wars fighting game. I kind of grabbed this just because it was there. PS1, $1. I'm usually not into military shooters, but whenever you write single-player and two-player cooperative game options, I'm kind of a sucker for that. I like split-screen shooters. I assume this is in great shape. It's made by Take-Two. It's a pretty good company. Didn't they make Borderlands? I think so. PS3 game called F1 Race Stars. This is a kart racer that features actual F1 drivers. So think about that. So it's like you got real guys who've been turned into cartoons, real drivers who are, doing real power-ups and stuff. I just hear this is a pretty solid game. And for $1, I thought I'd grab it. Contra Shattered Soldier. I hear this isn't bad. We actually have this, but for $1, I was willing to grab it again. I've never actually popped it in. I don't know. I've heard some people don't like it. Some people do. You've got that beautiful blue. I'm a little surprised this is that old of a game. Blue PS2 disc there. And then finally, the original Armored Core by From Software. Pretty cool to find this. We have a lot of these Armored Core games in the hole because they're all over the PS2. But I've never actually come across the original here. Kind of a mech shooter. It's kind of fun. 2-player. Yeah, not bad. Alright, so those are all $1. I think those are pretty decent deals. Alright, this next deal, I don't know if you guys are going to ding us on this or what, because this is a little shady. In that this wasn't old Cap and Raz walking in somewhere and just being excited. Or just, wheeling and dealing. You see, First Mate Bismuth actually had a big hand in this one, in that he was the one I worked the deal out with. Okay? Does that make any sense to you? So I'll let you fill in the blanks from there. But I was in a pawn shop, and Bismuth had told me ahead of time that there was some stuff worth walking in on. I already knew what I was getting into, but I didn't know the price just yet. He sent me 3 SNES games. I think initially he was looking at $8, and that would have been okay, honestly. But I'm not used to paying those prices. Then he sent me 3 Game Boy games. He was looking at $5 each for those again. One of them I really wanted. The other 2 for $5 each I would have passed on. Then he sends me some, like 6 PS2 games. And there was one that we didn't have, so I knew I wanted to grab that one. So I show up there with the intent to get, and then after working out a deal through text, he was able to shave everything down from the initial cost, which would have been, $15 for the Game Boy games, maybe $2 each on the PlayStation games, $24 for the SNES games. So you're looking somewhere around $40 to $50. He was able to shave that down after working things out with the powers that be. Shave that down to $20. So I was walking in there with the initial price being $20 for the 6 cartridges that I'm about to show you. Let's show you the carts. Got it in this nifty little box here. What service, huh? Alright, first one we have is a very easy to identify Super Mario Kart. David, maybe he's getting into the Splatterhouse spirit. He's done that everywhere. Not the prettiest copy in the world, but it's Mario Kart. Not bad for what we were looking at there, which was $333 at the time. Super Mario All-Stars. 1, 2, 3, and the Lost Levels. And finally, for the SNES, you got the original Mario Brothers. Little known fact: there's like 2 or 3 different labels of this game. Take a look at it. Sometime Yoshi is a little fatter. Take a look at him. You might notice that sometime. Okay, and then the Game Boy games. This is what I was excited about. Finally tracked down a copy of Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. We have the updated Game Boy Color version, but this is the one I played back in the day. A lot of people would say it's overrated. I don't know about that. It's a great game. Great Zelda game. It certainly holds its own. You got Kirby's Dream Land, which we already have. So initially he was asking for $5. I would have passed on that. And then finally, the puzzle game Yoshi, also available on NES. We have this as well for $5. But if you're going to do 20 on all these, I'll get them out of there for you. Okay? That was the plan. So then we started looking at the PS2 games. He had maybe about 6 of them. I pulled 3 of them. 4 of them, apparently. Evergrace, a game we got recently by From Software. It's a launch RPG game. We just had the disc, so I went with that. I don't think this has the manual. It doesn't. The Bouncer. This is a launch brawler game. Never played it. No, buddy of mine, Anubis, is really into it. I haven't tried it. Family Guy, the video game. You know, I'm just not a fan of Family Guy. I'm just not. I hate that it's everywhere in Adult Swim. I hate that it seems that that's all that people can quote if they don't know how to make their own jokes. But I do like the back here. I really like when somebody has to write for a property that's clearly funnier than they are. Distinctive Family Guy humor, raucous and racy. Just how you like it. Don't tell me what I like, sir. Don't tell me what I like. Hilarious and entertaining non sequitur mini games. Keep the laughs coming. And then finally the game that I was excited to get, Unlimited Saga. This is a game that does not get a lot of people don't like it, but it was a Square RPG that we just didn't have, and I'm always happy to put another JRPG in the hold. So looking at these, he's like $2 each, and I'm like, bro, I've done like a quarter on these before here. Come on, you can do better than that, right? So he took that. He also had these, finally, a couple of in nice shape, 3-button, first-party Sega Genesis controllers. So you got the 2 controllers, the 4 PlayStation 2 games, the 3 SNES games, the 3 Game Boy games. He did a little more fiddling around, and we were able to get all of this for $19.90, just under $20. We will probably sell, in fact we did already, now that I think about it. We have already sold Super Mario World for about $20. So that means after shipping, after Amazon costs, we're probably going to be able to get this whole stack for around $5. Not bad? Not bad. We'll keep the rest, maybe spread it around the ship, you know. Some people still play Game Boy, right? Alright, and we'll keep Zelda DX in the hold. We'll keep Unlimited Saga in the hold, to be sure. Very happy to have those 2. That's our cut. Alright, so, right, one more deal. How are we doing on time? Let's do it. I walked into a place, and this isn't the best deal, but sometimes when you see something that's bundled together so well, even though you don't really need it in your life, it's very hard to pass up. So I found these. All together in a pawn shop. I'm going to put them like this for you, and let's see if you can figure out what they are. Oh, God. That's not easy. All right. Can you see that? Can you figure out what that is? Any idea? No? It's not Power Rangers. It is every single version, every volume of Voltron. Old 80s anime show. If you're my age, you certainly know what Voltron is. I've never really watched Voltron, believe it or not. But this is the whole series. All in these beautiful cases. With, I guess, the pilots on the back. I asked them what they were doing on these. There were 5 of them. And then apparently there was like some sort of additional volume here. It says Voltron Collection 6 Air Team. I don't know if this is a spin-off or what, but there were these 6. I said, what are you doing on these? She's like, 5 each. So what's that going to be? That's going to come out to $30. I asked her if she'd do 20. She did 20 at the door. So I don't know. That's up to you. Are you an anime fan? You may be dying on this one. If you're, you know, not into DVDs, you're like, it's not Blu-ray, it doesn't exist. You know, that's up to you, but I thought they were way too cool to pass up. And from what I understand, I mean, these are cartoons from my era. So maybe I should check them out. Alright, so there you go. We'll keep those. I don't really know what those are worth. They're probably not worth that much. But to get them all together like that for 20, I think that's a fair deal. Okay. Now, let's get back. We're right outside the mansion, okay? We haven't reached the mansion yet. We were in the cabin that's just outside the mansion, kind of a guest house. If we can defeat Mr. Double Chainsaw Guy, we'll be inside the mansion, and hopefully we have enough time to track down Jennifer and get her the heck out of there. Okay? Let's give it another shot. Oh, one quick recap. 20 on the Voltron, 20 on the box with the SNES and Game Boy, PS2, And then $5 on the X-Men fighting game Armored Core lot. Okay. 20, 40, 45 at the door. Here we go. It's Splatterhouse. Splatterhouse for the arcade. Alright. Give me video. I had to pause it because they want me dead. I have somewhere around 15 minutes, maybe 20. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, come on! What a choke artist. Oh my god. I got hit by an inanimate object. Ah! There's a way to juggle those guns. There's 2 guns on the stage. If you can get them both over there, it's a cakewalk. But if not, I'm going to have to jump up in that guy's grill. My nose bleeding? I don't know what that was. You gotta go like perfect run to get over to him. Gotta keep every bullet. Alright, here we go. Okay, we got him. Whew! Welcome to the West Mansion. Oh my god. I suck so much. Oh my god. Ah. Yeah, alright. Okay. Don't worry, there's continues. Oh no! And you'll notice that if you fall in a pit, you don't die. But you certainly get punished for it. I do not want to be down here. This is like... That's unbelievable. What a meat market. Oh, get off me! Oh my god. I don't even know why I practiced. I don't even know why I practiced at this point. Unbelievable. That sound. You know, I've never seen anything like these guys. This idea of just this... Ah! Oh my god. I've been telling people all week, oh, I'm working on it, working on this game. Oh, it's a tough one. They're probably watching like, he rehearsed this? This isn't good, man. I have one life to get through this? There's no way. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. This is not good. Oh, jeez. Ugh. Unbelievable. By the way, I'm playing this with a joystick. I don't know if I said that. It's the Hori Katana. Usually use this for fighting games. Today we're fighting for our life. Alright, no problem. No dropping in the hole. Wanna know how many times I dropped in the hole rehearsing this? I'm pretty sure it was 0. That's the first time. It's not laggy. It's not hardware issue. It's, you know, Cap'n can't perform. That's the last thing I need to get out. Oh, come on. Come on, baby. Ugh. Sure, now you can execute. I was wondering what these guys were that they turn to dust like that. Are they glass? Because they come from like a mirror world? Hey, it's Toledo, Glass City. Shout out to Glass City, baby. And I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Okay, now we're in good shape. Now we're in good shape. We're gonna die here, but we've got lives to stay here. Alright, no problem. No problem. You'll notice that the crosses in this. Crosses were taken out of the TurboGrafx version. Serenity. This place is clean. Okay, we've got about 5. Right. There she is. On a couch. Asleep. Guarded by ghouls. This is it, folks. We've got about 5 minutes. It's about all I can allow. Ugh. Let's see if we can reach her. Nice, free guy. We'll need that. Thank you, thing. Whew. Notice multiple ways to go here. You got to give this game credit, though. You know, new monsters. You know, new things creeping up at you all the way up until the end of the game. All the way up until the last level. Oh, man. End of the ladder. Okay. We're still not doing terrible, but... that guy... It's the Necromancer. Like most magicians, he needs a second to cast his spell. Not happening. Okay. We're actually not doing that bad. Okay, alright. I know what I need to do here. I'm sorry. I botched that, but I think that's still going to be okay. There we go. You'll notice the dog is eating the body. So if I just concentrate on... Oh, come on! I punched him! Unbelievable. Let me up. Alright, again, I'm very hurt. But it doesn't matter now, does it? We found her. Jennifer. Oh no. Don't make it go down like this. Splatterhouse! Oh! Let's go with it one more time. I'll free your soul, baby! That's it. That's my girl. That's my girl. You're gonna be okay. Oh, God. No! Don't do it! Ah! Yeah. Over. I mean, what'd you expect? What'd you expect? The happy ending? Splatterhouse. We end the voyage being killed by the one woman we were there to save. Talk about rolling snake eyes, huh? Let's see what you have in the mess hall for me, the captain. Rest in peace, Raz. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God, a chainsaw in each hand? Funk that. I don't think we have any real questions here. Let me see here at the end here. Oh, here's a question. This comes from Dirty Pirate Hooker, and she writes, what is your favorite holiday to base the show on, and why? Oh, jeez. That's a hard call. I really liked St. Patrick's Day. I was very excited about St. Patrick's Day. We did a show out, and we went out to Dublin, Ireland. That's always been one of my personal favorites. I'm Irish. If there's one place I wanted to be, I'd like to go in the world, it's Ireland. And lucky for us, we have this ship that we can go to all these places that we weren't fortunate enough to go to as children. So St. Patrick's Day is really special to me, and I don't know that we'll be able to find another St. Patrick's Day game. Halloween's a great time because there's just so many excellent games like Splatterhouse to feature. But St. Patrick's Day for me is just a real magical time, and I can only guess that any game that takes place in Ireland would just be a lot of fun. So probably St. Patrick's Day. Christmas is really good too, but yeah, probably St. Patrick's Day, only because it's just for me one of my favorites, and it's a holiday everyone can appreciate, everyone can enjoy. Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, so nobody's left out. All right, thanks for the question, Dirty Pirate Hooker. If you have a question, you can write us here at thegaminggalleon@gmail.com. We'll drop her in the old bag that tells no tales right here in the back. I think that's about it. Do we have anything else we need to address? No. I don't think so. Hold the ones you love tight, my friends, because you never know who may come to swoop them up in the dead of night. We'll see you next time. And until then, farewell and adieu to ye fair Spanish maidens. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. For we received orders for to die in the West Mansion. And lo, nevermore shall we see ye Again. Keep your powder dry, mateys. Somebody cut down that clown already.